Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today's video sort of is, in part, uh, sort of my sense that I had when I first started collecting. Now, this isn't as old as I am or anywhere near that, but it was the attitude that I really wanted to have top watches. And I really didn't know very much when I first started collecting watches, but I'd heard of something called the Holy Trinity. And so I found out what the Holy Trinity was and found out how expensive those watches were. And so I started poking around until I found something I could afford. And that's what I did. And so I thought, well, I'll call this the Pauper's Holy Trinity, especially given today's prices. So let's take a look at what we've got. Now, the first one is a Patek Philippe Calatrava. This one has a caliber 23-300. It's a manual wind, and it's got a Geneva seal. I, I gotta tell you, this one I found on Chrono 24 for $6,000. This was exactly the same one that I started with. In the lower right-hand corner, there's a wrist shot of my Calatrava. That watch, it felt like I was winding in jewels. It just a magnificent watch. Yellow gold, 18 karat Geneva seal, you know, 3 hertz, 44-hour reserve. It's a really nice watch. I had the sense that I had to be pretty careful with it because it was a dress watch, and most of the guys that I met they're more like sports watch guys. But anyway, so this is the first. This is the first of the three Holy Trinity of the Pauper's Holy Trinity. The second one is one that is almost a icon in history of Vacheron Constantin development of a sports watch. This is sort of more aside to a more dressy, obviously, just from looking at it, you can see. This watch, the Phidias they were doing a lot of development with watches that came out, like the 222, and then there was the 333, and then in 1989 they came up with the Phidias. These are relatively smaller dials on this, and introduced in 1989, and the movement is Vacheron Constantin 1130. Now, the 1130 is an automatic, and some of the ones, the Patek Patek 1130, I believe was hand wound, or they had an automatic version or some version of it, but it was pretty good, very good movement. But this, of course, wasn't an in-house movement, but it was sort of Vacheron Constantin's version of it. 38, 48 to 40 hours, 3 hertz. This watch to me is just fascinating. It really is. It's and it's part of the lineage that led up to the overseas, and so it's an interesting piece. You know, the other thing that looking at it, it reminded me a lot of the H. Mozart Company Streamliner. Cool, very cool watch, silver with gold. By the way, these all have gold in them. This one has Elise gold, because it's primarily made out of steel, and then it has a gold bezel and some gold indexes. Interesting watch. Now the final one is an Audemars Piguet Jules Audemars. This one is in white gold, small seconds. The caliber is Audemars Piguet caliber 3090, 3 hertz, 48 hours reserve. By the way, it wasn't a plan of mine, but I've always liked calibers under 4 hertz. All of these are 3 hertz, 21,600. Two of them are hand wound, which I prefer. So it sort of could have been going back when I first got started. I sort of was like a duckling. I got onto a certain one and followed it. So anyway, these are the 3 Pauper's Holy Trinity. You might be interested in it. They're a new Calatrava. I think they start at $30,000. The one that I showed you is one that I believe you can is one that they have a price or suggested price. Go for the just price. By the way, all 3 of these I found on Chrono24. Doesn't mean they're the best prices or the lowest prices, but they'll give you an idea of some of the models that are lower. They're going to be a little smaller than the contemporary ones, and of course they're sort of pre-21st century, but some interesting watches. Let me know what you think, and this is an opportunity to subscribe if you like. And until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Side, the art and science of watch collection.